has changed a lot. I feel a lot stronger. My mobility has gotten a lot better. And that's why I come back every year.
La rutina que nos toca a diario, eso es lo que me hace preparar para comenzar el día con una buena motivación.
I'm currently a professor at Nova Southeastern University teaching biomechanics. We're even doing ongoing collaborative research with Nova, integrating technology and improving our training theories. A great illustration is post-activation potentiation, or PAP. This is the basis behind a lot of our weight room programs. To maximize power, you stimulate the nervous system. For example, if you perform a max effort or even moderate max effort lift, you get a max motor unit recruitment from the central nervous system, or CNS. When the CNS is in this heightened state, then max power can be expressed. So in simple terms, the brain or the CNS contracts muscle. When the brain function capacity is up, you see max power. It's something that's been researched a lot, and we use the concept with the specificity of power for baseball or even boxing, basketball, football, hockey, whatever.
We take it a step further with training. We have portable force plates that measure power capability and eccentric loading, and symmetry between the right and left side of the body. We will track this each set from the loaded lift into the specific power. In addition, we have the technology to measure output during the subsequent power exercise.
Now, the Proteus will give pure concentric power on both sides of the rotation, meaning you can set the resistance going left and right, diagonal up, down, press, pull, or any motion, and it gives pure concentric power going both ways. Now, this is important to give instantaneous feedback on power output, but most importantly, symmetry left-right of any rotational diagonal pattern or push-pull pattern. Air resistance machines like the advanced flex line of the basic Kaiser gives a power readout of the resistance out and gives the pullback for deceleration. So resistance out, pullback for deceleration, with the digital readout in terms of total power output. The rack-attached cable machines all come with variable load band attachment to safely accelerate through the range of motion, hence peaking power. So hence similar motions, but not a variable load instead of the air resistance constant load to provide more challenge in the later phases.
The jammer arms can be loaded with bands for the same variable load concept of accelerating through the end range of motion, but can also be adjusted to the size of the player and adjusted for a variety of power exercises.
El sistema push nos ayuda a medir la velocidad de la barra o la velocidad del jugador. Esta metodología que utilizamos es esencial porque podemos calibrar el volumen y la resistencia entre cada set dependiendo del poder producido en cada repetición. El Height Trainer lo utilizamos para medir el poder horizontal de las extremidades inferiores del cuerpo. En nuestras fases de potenciación, el Height Trainer es una herramienta importante en nuestro programa de fortalecimiento.
So not only do we have the technology, we have the education, years of experience to implement it and customize it to each player. Now you combine this with our medical system, this is how you ensure to train aggressively without overtraining. Now this is why we don't even assign a number of sets. It's a dead system. We assign a set range because we have the ability to get instant feedback on the brain to muscle ability to function throughout the entire workout. And the assigned workload is actually based on that.
I would recommend this program to anybody looking to really get back on their speed and overall explosiveness. You know, whether it be strength or you know, out there on the field or on the track.
Yeah, I love training here because we train here with passion. We train hard. We are like a team. We all together and we all on the same page.
Now, when it comes to this aspect, we have to discuss speed versus movement efficiency. The movement mechanics of outfielders definitely has to focus on forward multi and back multi. Infielders more on lateral and still back multi, but just a little bit in terms of a shorter distance. Catchers with footwork, definitely hip rotations, and everything that is lateral. And then obviously you have base running, the arc motion, the base stealing start, and everything that is linear. So we're going to have players that really want to focus on speed, and we provide it obviously. But all position players need specific volume of this just for efficiency, injury prevention, and fielding. There has to be a good mix of resisted work with various modalities, assisted work at various levels, and free sprint work.
Los componentes musculares de este movimiento pueden y son aumentados mediante entrenamientos técnicos. Cuando la capacidad de este movimiento se intensifica, la selección del jugador es aumentado en movimientos de multidireccionales. El concepto principal de nuestros entrenamientos de aceleración se basa en que las extremidades inferiores se mueven como pistones.
And to truly maximize speed, you need to constantly monitor the splits, and that's in training. Now, the Fusion Light system we use aren't just for testing. You know, for example, some younger players want an accurate readout of a 30 or 60-yard sprint, and we have the ability to do that. But the main reason why we use the Fusion Lights is we track all linear splits in training. So for example, if we're running a 20 or a 30 on a free sprint in the complex within training, we're tracking the 10-20 split, or we're tracking the 20-30 split. You combine that with our video analysis system, now we can identify which technical drill complexes is working for each player, and that's true customization.
De verdad que me siento bastante fuerte en este punto, que he mejorado una cantidad.
The strength program is definitely my favorite one. I train at other places, and when I come here to Pete, I just I feel like it gets my body ready for a long and tiring, grueling season.
Now, when it comes to the science of our MLB program, it's a complete collaborative effort between our performance coaches, our medical, and our regeneration team. Now, this is a system that is beyond a trainer writing a program and coaching a player on form. It's a system that involves customizing the program for each player based on what we see at that exact moment. This consistent system of fully integrating medical into the performance training and vice versa is a huge part of our overall MLB program. A great example of how this works so well is our 5-point overhead rotary motion system. The pitching, throwing, and swinging motions are extremely precise motions, but if you break down each segment of each motion from a biomechanical and muscle action standpoint, you can identify key training protocols. So it's not recreating the motion in training. You train to enhance the specific muscle action that occurs at each segment of the motion.
For example, if a player has a limited range of motion, our medical staff can open up that needed range. Our neuromuscular or MAT therapist can stabilize that new range, and that information immediately goes to our performance staff, and the program is changed to stress and support that specific area.
Our 5-point system is comprised of 5 main categories, and each of those have many subcategories. We have reactive neuromuscular training, or RNT, power, power endurance, strength endurance, and then the fifth one will be balance and deceleration.
Many players even incorporate MAT before training. Our performance team will get this report right before the session when the body is in an aligned state, and assign specific exercises during the workout that keeps this alignment.
We expand beyond the realm of standard chiropractic. We can do adjustments when necessary, but we get more into the cause of the misalignment. This is why our chiros are highly trained in manual therapy, neurofunctional acupuncture, and dry needling. The chiropractors also give directives to the performance team to stabilize and strengthen the joints that were treated.
Muscle activation techniques, or MAT, is a very specific form of neuromuscular therapy. Its main goal is to assess symmetry and to increase range of motion by enhancing muscular contractions by way of manual therapy techniques, isometric, and extremely specific exercises.
Before I was working with Big, 09, 08. When you work out and you feel a little bit something in your ankle, your knee, or on your upper body, you got the facility like right next to you and you can take care of your body.
My off season been great. I think this is one of the best off season I ever had. Work out hard, lose a lot of weight.
I would like to come here because it's a great reviews about the players throughout the league. Everybody want to come here to work out.
I came back because I love it here. I mean, everyone has a great drive to get better, and it's just competitive, but a good competitive to get better.
Voy a seguir viniendo tanto por la comodidad, por lo que te brinda el staff, la oficina y especialmente el trabajo que ellos hacen.
son bastante profesional aquí y de verdad que me gustaría estar aquí por varios años. Mi agilidad es 100% mejor que años anteriores.
The strength program has definitely helped me. I can definitely see improvements in myself, getting stronger in every asset. I mean, my legs, upper body. I would say the strength program is definitely helping me.
I started my career as a strength coach for the Ball State baseball team in 1998. There we had several draft picks, even first rounders, including the #1 overall pick in the draft. I have a master's in exercise science with a specialization in biomechanics. I even did my thesis on three-dimensional motion analysis, so I've always been fascinated with the extremely detailed biomechanics of baseball.
Pete Bommarito did a phenomenal job while he was with us at Ball State for several years when I was here in my first stint back in 1996. I think strength training had a lot to do with the success we had. I knew he was going to be a rock star in the industry back then, as he was a rock star for us during that time. I brought him back here to educate our strength training staff on the latest, greatest updates in strength training.
Now, when I moved into the private sector, I had a chance to work with players such as pitcher Lance Carter, who eventually became an all-star and is now actually a pitching coach in the Red Sox organization.
Pete and I have known each other for over 20 years. When I was rehabbing from my second Tommy John, and Pete was instrumental to try to make me great and get back to being able to play again. A lot of the techniques and things you hear about today, Pete was teaching almost 20 years ago. He was a big part of why I became a Major League Baseball player.
I was able to transfer to South Florida in 2005 and continue to advance this system. And there I met Raul Ibanez, and we ended up working together for the rest of his incredible career.
I always say that Pete's training bridges the gap between the weight room and the baseball field. You're getting stronger, you get faster, but it's also the application of that speed into your sport.
I think, with the nutrition, the program on the turf and weights, it's just got me into shape and ready to play for a long, grueling season.
The last couple of years has definitely helped me, my strength, definitely my core and my lower half.
I feel better, I'm bigger, I'm stronger.
I think Bommarito is a state-of-the-art training facilities, training program, and is a family that I'm looking forward to being a part of for a very long time.
I think it's the best decision I made in my life. I'm really in the best shape of my life also.
Every off season I come in here and feel like I get better every year, and that's the goal, and invest in what it's worth.